Chapter 4. A Killing Look. Chris. "Are you a music fan, Ambrose?" Mr. Jareth said, staring at me through the rearview mirror. His expensive watch glinted at me from beneath that navy blazer sleeve. From only a couple days with him and my copious amounts of research, navy blue was his go-to color. I wondered if I needed a signature color too. Was that a thing? I made a mental note to ask Elise about it the next time we spoke. Jesus, I hated thinking about clothes. It was dumb. I missed the days of having a uniform. Everyone wore the same thing, and conformity was the name of the game. Those were the good old days. Ambrose? Jareth lifted that thick, dark brow. Sorry, what? I tried to keep the flush from crawling up my neck. I had totally daydreamed into a whole other place. Do you like music? I fucking love it. It had been my reason for breathing until the possibility of it as a career was cut from my hands. Literally. I do. What kind? He volleyed. I was under the distinct impression that there was a right and wrong answer to this. All sorts, I said, non-committally. Have you heard of my sister, Destiny? Caledonia Security does full background checks on all their clients, so I'm very familiar with her. Again, I was staying diplomatic. We never want to offend the client. I especially didn't want to tell him that his sister was a musical hack that basically regurgitated the same teeny-bopper, barely legal jailbait songs that were as tired could be. It wasn't my thing. Have you listened to her music? He wasn't going to let this go, was he? I really wanted to know what Jareth Barkada's point was. I felt like I was a pig being led by the snout to a trough. What's on the radio? Yeah. As if on cue, the music on the stereo surround sound changed, and the woman in question crooned on about being a girl, trying to find her way into womanhood. It sounded like money and merchandising. Pop for the sake of chart toppers that were churned out in a formulaic 4 chords in 4/4 time, ending with a big, trilling belt. Do you like it? Mayday, mayday, it's a trap. Sure, I lied. I slowed onto the off-ramp of the freeway into the Los Angeles side street, covered in bougainvillea and other shrubs. Who wouldn't? I saw Jareth rub the back of his knuckles on his lips as he pensively stared out the window. Do you think she likes her own music? Well, that's a weird question. I'm not sure what you mean. Does her voice sound like she's enjoying what she does? I don't know. Never mind. He kept looking out the window at the passing parcels of land. We drove between expensive Spanish and Adobe-style homes and wove into the main streets of large buildings. Traffic was light for this time of day. I expected LA traffic to be more oppressive, or maybe that was because I spent a lot of time in New York City. Jareth was a strange man. The principal client, Destiny, was probably just as strange, but what the hell did I know about the dynamics of siblings? Elise and I were 2 very different people who shared the same parents. Our age gap meant that by the time she was born, I was so ready to have a little brother or sister. I was 10 years old when they plopped her in my arms. I felt so important and responsible. I loved feeding her, changing her, burping her. I took her care to heart. Still do. My sister does not know that there have been other threats, Jareth finally said, staring impatiently at his watch. She's seen one, and that was enough. The rest I kept from her. It was a statement, and an order for me to keep my mouth shut. Yes, sir. I stopped at a red light. A brown fast food bag rolled along the road, carried by the strong wind that rattled the car. Do you play chess? What? I took a quick look in the rear view, just to make sure he was, in fact, talking to me and not on his phone or something. The change in subject was so abrupt that I wasn't totally sure. But he had no phone in hand, no Bluetooth in his ear.
Do you play chess?
He repeated, slower, as if I was the slow one. Not really.
Have you ever heard the phrase garde la reine?
His eyes suddenly met mine in the mirror as I kept checking the road. Protect your queen. No one needed to be a genius to know that phrase, right? Another quick glance in the mirror, and he was still looking at me, his hands clasped in front of him.
Justiny is our queen,
he finally said.
She is our most powerful player.
I wasn't sure I understood what he was getting at, so I waited.
I do not love one sibling more than another, but I do see the role we all play as a family. Justiny is the most powerful piece on the board.
He looked away, staring out the window again.
She's beautiful and talented. She's special. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. I had no fucking clue, but maybe I'd pick up what he was putting down if I talked it out. In chess, if you lose your queen, you lose the game.
Exactly.
He looked unconvinced about my conviction.
More importantly, if anything happens to her on your watch, I will jam my boots so far up your ass you'll taste kiwi shoe polish long after I've buried you 6 feet under.
I guess we were done with the good-natured tap dancing. I appreciated the straight talk.
Poetic.
I deadpanned.
I'm not sure why Callum thought some new guy off the street was good enough to protect my sister, but I trust our long-term friendship.
Jareth's eyes darkened, and even if I didn't see it in the mirror, I could fucking feel it in the cold air around us.
However, I am reluctant to trust strangers. One false move, and I will have you shipped to Scotland in a box.
I'm not exactly off the street. I shrugged, mentally relaxing every muscle of my hand as I continued to drive. He was taking my measure. I had to stay calm and take his hot-winded bluster on the chin. If I could handle Leah's incessant berating, I could certainly handle him. I was Special Forces and did 10 years in the Army. I'm also the first man to pass Caledonia Security's rigorous training program.
Yes,
he said, in that nasally British way those limey snobs do.
They say you're the first in over 100 candidates. I suppose that makes you feel special.
The man was a tough nut to crack, I'll give him that. But I bet I could win him over. The flash of a camera lens blinded me from the sidewalk. Not just one, but hundreds. A small golden figure fell into the road. Who the fuck is that? I slammed the brakes, fishtailing to the side, the tires squealing loudly in my ears. The car came to a stop within a foot of the girl.
What the?
Jareth shouted from the back seat.
Justiny!
Well, that answered my question. The woman in the street was none other than the principal client, Justiny Barkada. Jareth jumped out of the back seat faster than I could blink, slamming the door closed behind him. I followed suit and strode right to the girl I was hired to protect.
You fucking bastard!
Jareth's voice made me turn my head, even as I continued to move towards his sister. He grabbed the man by the collar and shook him until the camera strapped around his neck rattled.
You could have killed her, you fucking...
I picked the girl, Justiny, up off the road. She was light, frail, and stunned. She had the faintest scent of marigolds, or something else as yellow as her dress. She fit perfectly in my arms, her wide, glassy eyes looking back at where she had come from. I had to get her somewhere safe, somewhere not here. Hell, where the fuck was her car?
Over here!
An old man with bushy brows said, his pale skin wrinkled and pockmarked with sun damage. Brian, the driver. I had known that from the docket I'd received on their close associations. Justiny had family, no friends to speak of, and spent most of her time with this old guy. Cameras still clicked, sounding like the rattle of angry chains. I could feel the hovering presence of the photographers who chronicled out every fucking move. They were malignant birds, feeding off the chaos. Brian rushed to open the back passenger door of a parked car, and I carried her over as fast as I could. I dropped her into the leather seat as Brian got into the driver's side.
Get her out of here,
I bellowed and slammed the door shut. When the car rumbled away from the curve, I almost let out a sigh of relief. Crisis averted. Then I heard the unmistakable sound of a fist slamming into delicate flesh.
If I ever see you go after my sister again, I will have you up to your eyeballs in litigation. You'll be sitting out subpoenas and die of rectal paper cuts, you worthless son of a bitch!
A photographer sprawled on the ground, his red-rimmed glasses bent haphazardly over his snub nose. The helpless man raised his arms defensively as a menacing Jareth lifted his foot, ready to land a possibly killing blow to his ribs.
You assholes learn nothing!
I grabbed Jareth by the shoulder and pulled him back before his kiwi-polished leather shoe could break some paparazzo's rib cage. Jesus, he was intent to kill. It wasn't to injure or intimidate. Hell, it wasn't even a loss of temper. His black eyes told a story of a man intent on complete, pre-calculated murder. Come on, man. I pulled him back into the car we had come in. He lunged forward against me, still trying to reach his target, that specific journalist with the funny-looking glasses. I couldn't let him go. I held him around the ribs with all my might. I would not let him curb stomp someone with this kind of audience around.
Mario Pesci, I will fucking bury you!
Jareth growled as I turned him around and pushed him into the open back seat of the car. I could taste his fury in the air around us, creating more electricity than the desert winds that howled between LA's tall buildings. I rushed into the driver's seat, ready to get us the fuck out of there. I have known many killers in my time. You can see their disregard for others and themselves in their eyes. Most killers are quite reconciled with their mortality. It made their souls and expressions blacker than ink. Jareth had